Today on the first Cobra TV podcast.
Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV, and this is going to be a mixture of two different shows, one of which is the podcast I've been talking about we're going to come out with, and a new show that I'm going to start doing called QuickLook, Cobra TV QuickLook. It's going to be, a mixture of sometimes I go through certain websites and I look for indie games that stand out to me and I want to talk about them on the show, and I come across so many different games that are just like, wow, but I don't know if they would like this or not. I don't know. Maybe it isn't the right fit for Cobra TV, but a quick look is going to be showing you some of those games that I really like, but I'm not sure if they have a place for Cobra TV or not. So Quick Look is going to take a look at 2 to 3 different games and twice a week. And we're going to be looking at those games, and then we're going to put them on a list, and we're going to follow its development as best as we can with the news developments and things like that with those games. So that's what we're going to be doing with a Quick Look, and we're going to have a little bit of that in this episode, in this podcast. And the reason why I'm putting it in the podcast is because there's a lot of explanation I want to do with Quick Look, and the first episode is probably going to be pretty long with me explaining what the show's going to be about and how it's going to feed the podcast. So Quick Look is what I usually find when I'm searching for games to talk about. I'm going to show you those games, and when we talk about those games, cover the news development, and then the podcasts are going to feed off of some of that stuff too as well. But today we got some topics from my producer here, and so I'm going over some of these. Topic number 1, the PewDiePie and Camposanto. I'm not talking about that. No, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. It's just too. Okay, the other one. North Korea. Do you even pay attention to the show that I do here on YouTube? You're supposed to be like my biggest fan, and you're telling me to talk about North Korea. What do you think I talk about on Cobra TV? I can't talk about that. No. We're gonna have a conversation later. It looked like you put a lot of work into this. There's side notes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to wing it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this podcast started. We got a lot of things we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about Dual Universe just a little bit, just because it's in the news, and a little bit about No Man's Sky and 1.38. Excited about that. But one thing I don't do enough is I don't thank my Patreon supporters in public enough. You guys have started changing this YouTube channel fundamentally. I mean, you guys are helping build Cobra TV from the foundation up. As far as your donations are going directly into equipment for Cobra TV, and I'm super excited to see how the future of this channel and everything, where it's going, because of your contributions to Cobra TV, and keeping my word to, if anybody ever supported on Patreon, they're always going to be in that credit roll footage at the end that I put at the end of 90% of my videos. You guys are always going to be there. I'll never take anybody off just because they can't support on Patreon anymore. But I do want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for helping mold this show and for having once you become a Patreon, some people are able to, if they reward tier, are able to design an entire episode and put me to work, and I make an episode for you that you write, or you could co-host it, things like that. And we're getting ready to get brand new t-shirts. We got some t-shirts that you can support us that way, that are we're getting brand new ones. We already have some that are available, but we're getting new ones with the new logo that we have. Thank you to Peaceful Gamer for designing that logo. Such an amazing artist, graphic artist. So you can support us that way. You can find me on Twitter at XXXCobra. The link is down below, and you can find me there. And that's a lot of the places that I tweet updates, or what I'm doing next is going to be on Twitter, and it's going to be in the Discord channel that we have for Cobra TV, which is also down in a link below as well. Another way you can support us is by hitting the subscribe button. It's completely free, and that is probably one of the #1 ways to support this channel. The more backing we get from either Patreon or just support in general, helps us push this channel in directions that I never thought we would able to ever see this channel go in. And I thank you so much for everybody involved. Patreon supporters, subscribers, people who comment and get interact in the videos, message me on Twitter, Facebook. You guys are amazing. Support is just everywhere, and I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to get into the quick look segment in a little bit. But isn't it exciting that No Man's Sky, 1.38 has, it might have been released to the PS4 by the time I upload this video, because I've been working on this, trying to get it all rebranded and everything for quite a while. And but 1.38 is exciting to me, I think, more than anybody else, because I have a review copy of No Man's Sky, which means that nobody on any separate PSN account linked to my name can play No Man's Sky whatsoever, because it's not licensed to their name. It's only licensed to mine. And so that's that's been an issue in the household here, because we only got one PS4, so therefore there's just one game save, and that's mine. And now we got multiple game saves, and we could have multiple normal mode saves and multiple survival mode saves, which I think is awesome. It is really awesome. So now a lot of people here in the Cobra lair are able to finally play No Man's Sky, with their own story, make their own adventure. And it has been amazing watching my two little ones, my 4-year-old and my 7-year-old, just explore the stars. Truly amazing. And so, that's the biggest thing for me with 1.38. I'm so excited for that. And along with 1.38 comes a ton, and I mean a ton of new, ton of bug fixes that a lot of people are talking about. I'm not sure if this covers, all of the bugs that people are talking about, but it does. Hello Games, it never ceases to amaze me with the amount of passion, the amount of work that they are putting into this game since day one. Ever since they came out with it at the VGX, and then they had the flood, and they lost most of everything, and then they kept working. They kept going forward with this, and then with the launch and the backlash, they kept moving. They kept going. And look at No Man's Sky the way it is today, and the positive reviews that it is getting on Steam. What a comeback, right? What a comeback. And there's nothing I hate worse. That it upsets me so bad when I see comments on cool games. They're trying to do their own thing, and somebody will comment, "This is what No Man's Sky should have been." Games are games, guys. There's so many games out there. There's so many different games, so many different sci-fi games where you can go out into space and go to different planets. Isn't that what we want? We want variety. We don't want to just pick one game and just stick with it only. We want variety, and it's so good that we are getting tons of variety in the sci-fi gaming genre. So much variety. And from Freeman Star Edge, who's mixing, kind of like Skyrim in space with, with Arma style quality combat. That sounds great to me. That sounds really good. So, 1.38, I'm really happy. I got on a tangent there. I'm really happy that, we can have multiple game saves now, and it just makes me wonder what's around the corner for No Man's Sky. 1.38, we're creeping up on 1.40, which, that's the next major update. There's been a lot of talk with Anna Shelf, the puppet master over at Alice and Smith, saying, that they're sending off the supplies to the printing company, and he said that right when the ARG ended, but now he's saying it again. And there's somebody named Kaz Wolf who was involved in ARG in some way, shape, or form, said that they are being sent. There were a couple of issues with the suppliers, printers, etc. So some delays were unfortunately put in the supply chain. We are still getting them though, and everyone's like, "Thank you, thank you." And then he says, "I think we got enough thumbs up." Not really, pal. We need more thumbs up. And so the Atlas passes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they were meant to come out with 1.40. I don't know, but the ARG for No Man's Sky is not over. Emily said that she was going to be back. The classes on the Atlas passes mean something. They said Anna Shell from Alice and Smith said that they are not random, and the class designations literally mean something. They have significance to them. They, with the forms, Atlas 65 forms, or I can't remember what they called it. That used to be eTark. That has, been changed around. It's got a new design, new look. And so I can't wait to see what these Atlas passes are for. I don't think they're part of the game, and they're definitely not collectibles, because they kind of stated that the classes mean something, so that doesn't mean it's just a collectible. I can't imagine, though, how hard it's going to be to actually get 10,000 copies of this Atlas Level 4 pass in the mail and successfully get them to 10,000 people. I think it's going to be 10,000 plus. At this point, I think it's more than 10,000. I think pretty much anybody that signed up is going to get one. So maybe that's the issue as well. I don't think that they want to shortchange anybody who signed up. So maybe everybody who signed up is going to get one. Maybe that's causing the big delay, because maybe 10,000 went to 20 or 30,000. I don't know. But the Atlas passes, I predict we're going to be seeing them here shortly. Can't wait to, have another ARG startup. What about you guys? Comment down below. Do you miss Waking Titan? I do. I miss Waking Titan. It was so exciting. And I think what made it exciting is that we didn't at first know or could prove that it was part of No Man's Sky or not. So let's go ahead and move on to Dual Universe. Dual Universe is in the news because it just released its a testing phase where people were able to sign up for the alpha testing for that, and there's like NDAs. If you go over to a lot of the groups for Dual Universe on Facebook, and they're like, they're saying do not discuss anything because of NDAs. So everyone's like all hush-lipped. If you're not familiar with Dual Universe, it is a space game, and it's not an entire universe like No Man's Sky, but it is a space game. And what is amazing, there's two amazing things about Dual Universe. In Dual Universe, there is no ships. It doesn't come with any ships. It doesn't come with any space stations. It doesn't come with any bases or anything. Everything that's going to be in the game after it's been released for a little bit, all the ships that you're going to be seeing, the space stations, the cities, the buildings, the bases, everything's going to be player made. And I think that is amazing. Amazing. You can, and the other amazing thing is that they have found a way for for networking, like for online multiplayer. They claim that there's no limit to how many people can be in their server, and that it's not instancing or anything like that. It is all a single shard online experience, that everybody is in this thing together, and that they're capable of doing this with some you know, some new technology. I don't want to call it new technology. I don't know what those guys are doing over there, but it does sound amazing. So with that said, you know, building anything that you want, you and like 400 people can all work on the same space station together and build this amazing city in space orbiting a planet. And everybody can work on it together. There could be blueprints and things like that. The only thing that I don't like about Dual Universe is that it is subscription based. Okay, so it's a subscription game. You have to pay monthly to play it. There will be sort of like a free version, but it'll be bare bones, and you won't be able to get involved with the communities out there and something like that. I'm not sure. That is the only drawback for me, but here's how I look at it. I'm generally a one-game guy, and I like to find a game that is so awesome that I can invest as much time as I possibly can in that game. If Dual Universe turns out to be amazing, I can see myself paying a subscription if I'm going to be putting that much time into that game. I can do that. I really could. So that's the drawback for me. That's the thing that I'm hung up on. From, you know, as far as Dual Universe is concerned. I am super excited about Dual Universe. I interviewed the developer, JC. It's on the channel here somewhere. If I could find it, I'll put it down in the description below, but it's in the videos here somewhere. I interviewed him a long time ago about Dual Universe. He had a lot of amazing things to say about the multiplayer aspect and the building aspect and the fact that everything's going to be player-made in the game, so he had a lot to say about all of that. It's a great guy, really great guy. He used to be involved in in robotics, making artificial intelligence and things like that for robotics. And so, I mean, the guy knows his way around coding. So that's exciting. That's been in the news. So I can't wait to see what people are going to write here soon. No, I was not included in the alpha testing because well, he's probably forgotten about me. I interviewed him a long time ago, and I don't talk about Dual Universe that much. But also, even if I was included, my PC is still not able to play games at the moment, so I wouldn't have been able to have tested it anyway. I probably would have ran a contest and probably gave the key away to somebody else if I'm even allowed to do that. But I wasn't included. Not salty. I'm glad because I couldn't play it. So there's that, and we're going to be following that closely to make sure we can cover every little thing about that testing phase. All right, so I want to go to QuickLook, the new series that I'm going to have twice a week. They're going to be shorter videos. They're going to be anywhere between 6 to 10 minutes long, based upon whatever I'm talking about in the video. And Cobra TV QuickLook is, you see, when I'm searching some of the websites that I go look for games that maybe haven't been talked about yet, or I see a screenshot on IMGUR, or however you pronounce that. I see screenshots on there, and then I go do investigation to figure out what the heck this game is, or there are some communities where developers are asking for help for this and that or the other, and you know, I start, okay, well, what is it you're working on? What do you mean that you're looking for a, some kind of a hurricane rendering system for a planet, procedural planet? Let me go in and figure that out. See what game you're working on there, pal. So, I'll do that, and I'll come across a lot of games that I look at and I'm like, oh man, that is really cool. It's not worth talking about. I don't think people are going to be that interested in if I bring something like this up. But I'm definitely interested enough to play it, to buy it. So a quick, I find a bunch of those, and I save them, and I'll keep my eye on them for my own personal needs or for my own personal pleasure. I watch their development and things like that, and so I have like a little list of games that, links and stuff like that I follow. And QuickLook is going to be just that. Instead of me just following them by myself, QuickLook is 6 to 10 minute videos showing you those games that I come across that may or may not be of your interest, but I'm just going to put them out there, and we're going to talk about them, talk about their features. And once we introduce a game on QuickLook, the other QuickLook videos that we come out with can follow the development of some of those games that I've introduced on the channel. And if there's a game that you think that nobody's heard of yet, you can comment down below in the QuickLook videos, and we can look that up and maybe talk about that for a little bit. It's something that I'm really excited about because I've always wanted to share some of these with people. And we're going to do some of that today. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you some of the trailers. I think the trailers that we have here are about a minute long. The last game that I want to talk about, unless I can find a different one, I could probably find a different trailer for this last game. It kind of reminds me of Limit Theory a little bit. It's a space game. And I got a video here. It's a docking video where the ship is docking with a space station. I just thought it was so cool, man. But I'll throw the I'll do that one last because I might show a different trailer other than the docking footage with the space station. But the first game that I want to talk about is one of I think a lot of people can agree one of the, and I'm saying one of the, I'm not saying the best game, but one of the top games that have come out in a very, very long time. One of the most funnest games that has come out in a very, very long time happens to be Rocket League for me. And I think a lot of people can agree with that. Rocket League is a very, very fun game. What draws me into Rocket League so much is that everybody's on the same playing field. I mean, you could upgrade your vehicle and everything like that, but it's not on like a leveling system. I think I don't think they've changed that. I haven't played it in a little bit, but I don't think they've changed that. I think everyone's still on the same level playing field, but I think you can recover. I mean, not recover. Gosh, listen to me. But I think you can upgrade a lot of the aesthetics of your vehicle with flames and paint jobs and decorative objects and things like that. But there is a game coming out, and it is called Crash Force. So we're gonna go ahead and play the trailer for you right now, and we'll come back afterwards and talk a little bit about the game. Alright, so it looks amazing, and this is a multiplayer arena shooting game at its core with RPG and racing elements where the player assumes the role of a hovercraft to annihilate their enemies. Crash Force is a mixture of Quake, Unreal Tournament, Twisted Metal, and Rocket League in an explosive, fast-paced, and competitive sci-fi alternative universe where hovercraft families rule the universe. The player assumes the role of a hovercraft to annihilate their enemies. You will have to pick from a variety of different hovercraft classes and skill trees, each with its own customizable options. This customization includes changing how the hovercraft looks, but also how it feels. This is achieved through RPG reminiscent skill trees that shape the way your hovercraft plays. Every level you get a skill point, which you can use it to further your skill trees. You can unlock buffs to health, speed, ammo, weapon damage, and more. Every 30 levels, you get an aviation point. Aviation points are used to unlock the larger skill sections. They give unique skills to the gameplay like lifesteal, exploding death, and spawn invulnerability. Enter the heat of battle with the free-for-all team deathmatch and objective-based games to rise in the ranks and unlock the new decals, bumpers, and skill points to further your skill trees. Crash Force comes to you with a variety of different maps, each with a variety of different environments. On each of these maps, you will conquer other hovercrafts with a primary fire, a secondary fire, and a selection of 4 abilities that you will use to change the course of the fight. Once you have customized your craft and chosen your game type, it will be time to wreak havoc on the online player base. That sounds amazing. And the trailer, it looks amazing. And this is game 1. So what we're going to do is you type in 1, 2, or 3, or all, or 1, 2, and 3, and you know, of which game that you're most interested in. So this is game 1. So comment down below 1, and the next game that we talk about will be game 2. Then the last game will be game 3. And I'm curious to see which of these games you find most interesting. But that does sound amazing. And again, you know, I'm just running through these real fast. I haven't checked on the release date. I'm sure it's available, but we will follow this up with a release date and some other details and things like that. I think the same goes for all of these. It wasn't too prepared, as you know. You could see we were winging this podcast because of the lovely producer's choice of topics for the podcast, but so I don't think we have release dates for this at the moment. The next game that I want to talk about is MotherGunship. MotherGunship is, if you're looking for a game like No Man's Sky that's explorative and it's open and it's free, I don't think MotherGunship is. I think it's pretty much a game like, it's kind of on rails, you know, so to speak. But the mechanics for designing your own gun is just amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and play the trailer real quick. The trailer starts off, but then it ends really amazing. I mean, we're talking awesome boss battles and awesome weapons, you know, upgrades and combinations and things like that. I mean, you guys can go all out. But we're gonna go ahead and play the trailer, MotherGunship, and we'll be right back.
Calling all men, women, canines, and tree frogs. Join the resistance. Your planet needs you. Escape the clutches of the alien robot invaders. See interesting places. Meet the local wildlife. And kill them. In up-to-date weaponry. Or build your own.
Joining the resistance has made me the man I am today. Before, I was just a frog stuck in a glass jar in a pet store in Pittsburgh. Now, I lead a team.
All right, so that looks amazing. MotherGunship mixes bullet hell intensity with the shooting customization and traversal of the first-person genre. Fight your way through alien fleets, facing randomized enemy and level mayhem as you clear rooms and take out some of the biggest bosses seen in the first-person genre. Sounds amazing, really does. Then we got some bullet points here. Fight. Face off against overwhelming odds and brutal nonstop combat where thinking on your feet is the only way to survive. Dodge hundreds of bullets with unique first-person bullet hell hybrid gameplay. Each ship hosts hordes of alien machines, deadly traps, and intimidating bosses, all set on preventing you from saving humanity. Go get 'em. Craft. To take down the MotherGunship, you will need your very own personalized arsenal of destruction. Luckily, in MotherGunship, you can create the gun of your dreams with one of the most modular gun crafting systems ever seen in a video game. Want to have 12-barrel guns that shoots homing rockets? Yeah, I sure do. Or do you prefer a lightning shotgun? Yeah, give me one of those too. And what gun wouldn't look better with a fish tank affixed to the top? I don't know. Go for it, it says. The design of your destructive arsenal is in your hands. That sounds amazing. Then it's got another bullet point here. It says resist. Join the ranks of global resistance of the global resistance movement and take back Earth together with your friends. Ooh, multiplayer, co-op. Fight together with a friend in a full co-op experience, or participate with the community while you work together to cut through the alien fleet and reach the ultimate goal, bringing down the Mother Gunship. So everybody's fighting for one common goal, for one common enemy, and that's the end boss, the Mother Gunship. That sounds interesting. That's game 2. That is game 2, guys. I mean, this game looks like it's amazingly fast-paced, lots of action, lots of shooting. It looks really amazing, really does. The next game that we are going to talk about is, it's called Between the Stars. And I'm not sure about this game just yet. I looked at it very briefly. I threw it off into a link in my notepad, and I haven't researched it for a little bit, but I am going to go ahead and talk about it just now. And it's a game that I definitely want to keep my eye on because it looks interesting. It looks very interesting. I don't know where this game is going just yet, but Between the Stars, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the docking video just real quick, just to show the docking mechanism. And if I find another trailer, we'll put it in after we talk about what this game is, as much as we can. Okay, all right. So Between the Stars is a roguelike game where you play as a captain of a military spaceship. The final goal is to get to the capital of the Republic to defend it from the attack of the Outer Worlds. During the journey, you will have to make decisions that will affect your ship and crew. Buy and upgrade weapons and systems of your own, of your ship, and fight with enemy ships. So it sounds like a journey. It's a roguelike game. It looks pretty cool. I don't see this game having like planetary landing or things like that, but it definitely looks like something to keep our eye out, and that is game number 3. We're going to look for a trailer, and if we have a trailer, we're going to throw it in right now. And if not, we're just going to keep on going. So those are the 3 games. That is Cobra TV Quick Look. And the future videos, you know, once we get some games under our belt, once we get some games that, you know, we've got the community looking at and you guys are telling me, hey, I'm interested in, like, hey, I'm interested in MotherGunship. I want to, you know, I want you to follow its development. And we will follow it. And so the future Quick Looks will be, instead of showing new games, or maybe at the end of the showing the 3 games, we talk about news and development of past games that we've covered and things like that. So I'm super interested in getting this on the road and getting a history, so to speak, so that way we can start covering news and development on some of these other games. But that is Cobra TV Quick Look. And don't forget, we are still doing the subcast for Cobra TV. The subcast it's like a podcast. It's like this, but you guys get to call in and be a part of the show. And I'm gonna, as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna check the waiting room recording and see what's in there. what I want to kind of do is maybe you guys can pile up into the waiting room on the Discord app, have a little podcast yourself, and while I'm doing the subcast, I can record that. And I'm not promising you I can upload every one, because there might be somebody in there just acting up a fool and things like that, and might make it not even worth uploading. Someone could be in there just screaming or farting or something like that. But I am going to take a look at every single one of them and see if it's something that I can upload, and that upload will be called the Cobra TV waiting room, or maybe we'll call it the lounge. Maybe we'll change the name of that Discord channel to the lounge, the Cobra TV lounge.
So I guess I'm not streaming No Man's Sky tonight. I'm going to be streaming some Fortnite.
Well, you could just leave and go stream it.
Oh, well, that's actually why I hopped online. And then I saw Cobra was streaming. And if I stream a No Man's Sky stream while he's doing a subcast, I'll have like 2 viewers. So,
well, I don't know, on a Thursday night. Thursday nights are kind of hard. I haven't noticed that there's a lot of people that show up on a Thursday night stream. I have family night on. It's the one night I picked because not very many people did anything, and Cobra wasn't doing his podcast on Thursdays. It was on Sundays, and that worked out for a while. And then when it was on Tuesday, that was absolutely perfect. But, his work schedule makes it really hard. So I could see. Yeah. So I don't watch anybody on Thursdays. Now, that last cage match they had, I did it special because that was on Thursday because I knew the people playing. So I promised they'd come, and my kids said, okay. But family night.
You're gonna be there for tomorrow's cage match? It's gonna be awesome.
Well, yeah, because King Snake and I do a lot of exploring together.
Maybe, just maybe, huh? I don't know. I do not know. But this is the first podcast that we're doing. I guess this podcast will grow as, just like the QuickLook, it'll grow as history starts forming into this podcast. We start getting conversations that we're talking about down in the comments section, or you guys are sending me links of things you want me to talk about in the podcast. But I think that's what I'm gonna end it here. I think for the first podcast, don't throw any stones at me because I'm used to doing this stuff with you guys. I really am. But I wanted like a heavily edited podcast. Something that people can, kick back and listen to. I'm going to be making an audio recording of this as well. So you can find that over at CobraTVGNN.com. Oh, we are changing the forum. ExploreNMS.com used to be all No Man's Sky. That's all that was allowed over there is No Man's Sky. It was a forum for a bunch of No Man's Sky fans. There is almost 5,000 members to this forum, and it has died. It has completely and utterly died. A lot of reasons for that. A lot of reasons. But I think it is time now to open that forum up to all indie games. Or any game that you want to talk about. So we are redesigning that forum as we speak. We're changing it. And here pretty soon, I'm going to be buying a brand new domain name for that. So it's not going to be called ExploreNMS anymore. It'll be called something else, and I don't know what that something else is going to be, but maybe we can get the community together and figure out a great name for that forum, because it is almost 5,000 members. Not something I just want to trash. It's not something I just, if nobody's coming there for No Man's Sky, let's give them a reason to come back. Let's give them a reason to start talking. And it's like there were so many people there that had so many great friends. They were so many good friends with each other. And everybody just went their own little separate ways because I guess they're not playing No Man's Sky anymore. But the friendships that you guys made, they're still there. There's no game holding that friendship together. You guys made a lot of connections over there. And there is stories on that site that I will never get rid of. I'm not going to get rid of your stories. Your role plays and things like that. There's a novel over there. It's amazing stuff. So that's not going anywhere. And well, I guess that's what we're gonna call this is the episode 1 of the podcast. As always, I love you guys so much. Thank you, Patreon supporters. Thank you, people who subscribed. And you're the best community on YouTube, period. The best community anywhere on the internet. And wouldn't be doing this without you. Love you guys. And I will see you all in the next video subcast. Revenge of the Survivor. See you on the forum. See you in Discord. See you on Twitter. See you on Facebook. I'll see you everywhere. Until next time.